Good morning, everyone. It's Joker. It's 5:40 in the morning. The live stream just ended, so let's just dive in. There's there's a good amount to cover, but not as much as people would think, and definitely not anything. Spoiler alert! Right now, they did not say anything about the special project coming early summer. Nothing was said about it, so if you were here solely for that reason, you can click off. But moving forward, the new festival area will look like this. It is scheduled to release in early summer, along with whatever the special project is. You will be able to walk around this area and talk to people, so I'm thinking that it will become like a third tier. That's the wrong thing, but like we go home right here, it'll be a third area to walk around and converse with people. So hopefully it adds another layer of people to talk to here, or well, a fourth layer then I guess. So it'll open up, more conversation avenues for people who don't show up as often, right? For me, it's Millum, who I do want to show up, but she never shows up. So it'll be interesting to see that. We do have new facilities coming with it. We'll have the big old drum tower as well. I don't know what these facilities actually do for you, if anything, but it just says you can build them. So, cool beans. Moving on, we have a new Townscape kind of ground layout, whatever you want to call it, decoration. Looks to be like modeled kind of stone. Cool. I personally don't give a shit about this, but some people do. We are getting a 4th building slot for free again, starting on the 5th of June, which this could be the 4th for you technically, depending on where you are. So that's cool. I always enjoy free building slots. It'll just mean that building the new events buildings will go a little bit quicker. And then here, we have the information. So on the home screen, when you're talking to people, walking around town, doing all this, the drop rate for Tempest coins or potions will increase from what it currently sits at 1 to 5, will increase to 3 to 7. So at minimum, you'll get 3 Tempest coins, hopefully 3 stamina potions. That's good, because, I want more Tempest coins for the shop, I want more potions, because they're potions. So any kind of increase for free is great. And then this down here is talking about the EX ability release quest. So now, for now, you can spend 1 ticket to attempt it once, right? But now they're going to change it where you can spend 3 tickets and get triple the drop rate. So it just means that you can grind this a little bit faster, which, is not a big, super huge priority for a lot of people, but it does mean that it will go faster. And instead of playing the entire event to get 1 fucking rock every single time, I can at least play it and get 3 rocks every time now. So, cool beans. Moving on, they have deleted these forces from the game because it was too confusing and there were too many forces, and the caliber of characters were just not that great. Like, this is Forest Fracas, this is Human Monster Mingling, this is Demon Lord Invasion, this is Gaining Status, this is Scarlet Bond, of which there's only like 2-3 characters on it, and it's never going to get a buff again. So these forces are out of here, and that, if you manually update your game from the shop, which you are able to do right now, these will be gone. So if we go into game, we go into companions, we go to filter forces, you can see that we have quite a bit less, right? We don't have any of the story, like anime story, manga story related ones. We just have the tribes, we have, personalities and stuff, organizations, and then the themes, and then the Octagram. So yeah, I think it's good because a lot of these categories were just ass, so I don't mind them leaving, and I personally didn't want them to get buffs. I wanted other things to get buffs, so that's fine. Okay, thanks for zooming out. Okay. Alright. Well, this is a user survey, apparently, that they pulled data from. I think there's a user survey going on soon. Soon? For the 1.5 anniversary? Oh. Okay. Hold on. Major adjustments to forces. Here we go. Following forces will be removed, gaining status: Force Fracas, Demon Invasion, Monster Human Mingling, Scarlet Bond, Axiom of Haze. What the fuck that was. Adjustments to Divine Protection effects. Due to the removal of the force listed above, adjustments will be made to the following characters' Divine Protection and supporting Divine Protection. Change from Force Fracas to Ogre's Pride. Okay. Force change to existing characters. Alright, that's already, you know, we looked at that. Balance adjustment for Wind Lumi, though. This is new. Heals all allies by 25. Soul damage by 5% up to 7%. Okay. Sure? I guess that wasn't in the live stream, so that's new information to me. Alright, whatever. Moving on. I don't know why I can't see where I'm going in here. Alright, here we go. New units. Timestamp 6 minutes 20 seconds. So we have Summonable Battle Shuna. So we are going with a wedding theme. So this is, like I said in one of my earlier videos, this looks to be a wedding theme. It is 100% a wedding theme. Goddess of Destiny focused. So Shuna is the Summonable Battle unit. She is a DPS unit and a Magic EX unit. So our first meta of magic characters. So Shuna, it has a 490% up to 510% single target magic ult. And that's it once it goes up to 1.5 times. Cool. Her first skill, she steals 3 orbs to herself and increases her own orb damage by 10% for 1 turn. So this is kind of like Earth Benimaru Light Daggerel, where you bring them in and they just yoink 3 orbs out, or yoink 2 orbs out. Well, she's yoinking 3 of them, so that's cool. Especially for the DPS unit, it's really, really powerful. Her second skill gives herself a 25% light attack buff and a 50% crit damage buff. So, I mean, that's pretty powerful right there. And it's for 2 turns for both of them. So, 50% crit damage, 25% light attack buff. That signifies that she is a DPS unit, and the following units after her will be supports, because she has personal buffs, right? No one else is going to give her extra crit damage because it wouldn't stack with this one. You can definitely use, like, Dark Xion to stack the temporary or the permanent crit damage, which, you know, will work. But yeah, her Valor trait is when you send 2 orbs, nerf green orb gauge increase by up to 20% for 1 turn. It's pretty ass, whatever. But Shuna being, you know, our first summonable, she's light as well. Magic damage dealer EX unit will be good and means that she has some good staying power in the future. Next is Protector Murin. Very interesting choice. I do like her outfit though. Her kit is interesting, and I say interesting as in it's wonky. So all this text here. So for 2 turns, any green orb or orange orb that you use during your turn will create a follow-up light orb worth either 50% of the green orb's initial damage or 20% of the orange orb's damage. So, the way this works is if you send a green orb in your turn and you use her skill, you will then send a quote-unquote yellow orb, which does half the damage of what your green orb did. And then if you send an orange orb, it'll send a light orb worth 20% of the orange orb's initial damage. And it does scale, so if your green orb does 70,000 damage, then you're going to be doing, you know, 35k on that follow-up attack, right? It also counts for alt orbs, and I believe they're counted at a 50% multiplier as well. So that is interesting. So in theory, you could be sending 12 orbs a turn, right? You could, and we'll show some gameplay of that a little bit later. So it's very interesting. It's kind of wonky. She doesn't raise skill cap. She doesn't orb change herself. The second effect right here is magic allies get a guaranteed crit rate for 2 turns. And then the third line is for 2 turns, we get extra SP gain, skill point gain for all orbs, 100% up. So, extra skill points on all orbs, cool. Guaranteed crits for magic allies, cool. And then the wonky follow-up attacks. And then her actual like protection trait is Goddess of Destiny units get 60% damage increase against dark enemies. And then Goddess of Destiny and Wholehearted Devotion units get the 25% attack and defense up. So it's weird. We'll try and find some of the gameplay for it. Okay, so here's an example. So you have 3 alt orbs and you have 3 greens, right? You use her skill, and then you start sending all these orbs from your first line up here, and then you have 6 light follow-up attack orbs that follow it. So you can do 12 attacks in 1 turn against a single person. So that's how that works. So here's some gameplay of this. So they have the little yellow aura around them, which means that they will do 50% extra damage right here. The alt, the alt only does 20%. Okay, that's unfortunate. I thought it was 50, but I guess that would have been maybe too much damage. Okay, well, let's go ahead and let it ride then. Alright, so you saw that, you know, we sent the alts, we sent everything, and we have all this whole line of yellow orbs now. We're doing extra damage. You know, we have different animations for the follow-up attacks based on if it was an alt or if it was a normal attack, because you can see even the backgrounds are a little different down here. But 55k on that final green orb, so there's 40k from the single target alt, 5k, 9.7k, and then 13, 13, and then 13. Oh, it didn't get anything for the extra 200% buff. Alright, well that's unfortunate. Okay, yeah, it's interesting in theory. It's pretty wonky outside of that. And then here is the free-to-play unit that we got the teaser for. It is Traya. So our first, you know, meta unit for Traya in the game now. She is fire, she is on Goddess of Destiny and Fount of Wisdom, which actually does matter a little bit, because she is an AoE alt, and then lowers enemy guard penetration by 10% for 2 turns, so that's a pretty ass alt effect. Her first skill, though, converts all of her orbs to green, and then increases Goddess of Destiny or Fount of Wisdom allies' alt gauge by 10%. So that is just free 10% to alt gauge on Fount of Wisdom or Goddess of Destiny, which is good. You know, extra 10% alt gauge here and there. But the changing all orbs to green is what Water Rimuru does, and that's why he's so good. Is you can hold him in the back, you can bring him in, convert them all to green, and get him out. Same as, you know, the Violet that just came out. Bring her in, swap them all to blues, send her away. That is what Traya is doing, except for green orbs now. And then her second skill is a special green conversion, so 1 blue and 1 orange into 2 green orbs. So she is a pure orb changer. exactly like Water Rimuru, just focused on greens instead. And Beatdown Battle for this meta is focused on having that special conversion turn 1. And then her secondary effect for the orb change is green orb all gauge increase by 10% up. So there's that. And then we move on to the free-to-play protector Aaron. Actually looking pretty adorable right here. Also, kind of looks like a child. I don't know, that might just be me. But she is essentially just the budget Mirren, so for one turn, it's only green orbs that get the follow-up, but it's still 50% of the damage. And then you get 50% skill point gain on all orbs for one turn. So, pretty much half of what Mirren does is what Aaron can do. And then you get 30% extra damage against Dark for Goddess of Destiny units. And then Goddess of Destiny and Wielder of Magic units get the 12% attack up. So, Wielder of Magic, okay, cool. Whatever you feel like doing. Here's some quotes on their artwork. This should be animations. Okay. Alright, so the animations look good. Tria's just cutting peaches. Take that as you will. Shuna's ult looks pretty good, calling down a spear from the sky, and then Marin is literally at the altar, and her wedding ring apparently just sprouts wings. So, cool. Interesting. Moving on, so these are the artworks for the 4 characters, Shuna, Mirren, Tria, and Aaron. Moving forward, the event will give you the Aaron dupes. And here is something very, very interesting. So this is a miniature skill revamp for these older characters, right? I don't think it's a full-on skill revamp where you need to have them at level 100. It's just small buffs. So Light Xion, her attack skill, used to give 30% attack up and 25% pierce power that stacked 3% each time. It's now starting at 40% and stacks by 3 each time. So quite a big power jump there in her pierce, which is good because she's the oldest unit out of them all, and she definitely can use it. Space Velzard, I'm not a fan of what they did. They took her double blue to double green orb change and made it a triple conversion and increased the cost by 5. We didn't really need that because Guy already changes orbs, right? Guy is her protector, and he does a 3 and 3. I don't really understand why they felt the need to buff Velzard's orb change. I would have rather her buff her frostbite and her instant damage than anything else, but sure, whatever. I think that's the worst of them. Space 3.0 Xion, she's getting an extra 10% on her Charm Strike skill. So instead of doing 15% extra damage to people who are charmed, it's 25. And then Space Shinsha got an extra 10% on her Space Resistance Down effect on her ult. So, very small buffs, but definitely units that can use them. I mean, I don't know a lot of people that have Velzard, Shion, and Shinsha. Probably because the metas were mostly skippable. People might have Velzard now that she's in the general pool. Shion, though, got the best increase, and she's, I think, probably the best unit out of these 4. So that's pretty nice. Moving on. They're adding these 5 characters onto the Goddess of Destiny force. So we've got the OG Fire Shizu. We've got the Fire 1.0 free-to-play Shuna. We've got Light 1.0's free-to-play Mirin. And then Velzard and Space Shion got added because, you know, they were part of that. Let's give them skill buffs. So I guess that's why, because you're going to bring Space Velzard on the new team. Question mark. Okay, sure. Don't really know about this one. I think we missed a few other things in here. We have a new grindable quest, Kaijin's Excavation something something. You can do this, you can get rainbow rocks, which is really, really good. Cores, grindstones, and magic ore. This will be a welcome thing, especially if they don't make it limited. Except it is limited, because it's going from the 5th to the 12th, so never mind, fuck me. So grind the crap out of this if you can when it does drop. It'll drop a couple days after the start of the meta. And then we're also getting Octagram Leon's Skirmish event. Just like we got Milim and Ramers' Skirmish event, we're getting Octagram Leon. He'll have his own shop where you can exchange stuff for, so that's cool. We do have the survey going on. I think there's the bride wedding event. We do have a new login bonus that they shown somewhere. Can't figure out where though, because now it's all blacked out. We're getting another login bonus, which is going to give us a total of 10 4-star tickets, 3 of the 10% 5-star rate tickets, and 1 guaranteed 5-star ticket. That's somewhere in here if you want to go search for it later. But that's about it. That's about it. There's no information on the special project. This video is lagging out. Thanks a lot. Here's some artwork. And then they do a play down, a beatdown battle, and then this whole Ask Me stuff. They talk about the old skill, well, I guess, skill revamps. I don't know what they're saying about it. They're not changing anything to them. Yeah. And then this is the final thing, is that people who buy the movie in Japan will get a code to get a battle selector ticket or just a 5-star ticket, depending on which version you buy. I don't know if they'll make these codes available for global players, and if they don't, then it's probably going to go into the serial code bazaar, like the rest of them have been. So you can buy whatever ticket, and it'll open up the shop again for more units. They did include a bit more units now. They are including this up here. These first 3 units are Earth 2.0 and then Water 2.0. So they're including 2 extra metas in here because we can see that we go all the way down to Wind, right? Wind Diablo, Wind Trainee, plus all the OG units, essentially. This is missing a few, but it's going to have a lot of characters to choose from, including the hero in Space Milim. So if this is grindable by flashback crystals, then whoever you don't pick from the coin shop, you can pick with this ticket as long as it's grindable. But yeah, that's about it. A whole bunch of trading cards. I know they brought up some information on the packs that you can buy. The black crystals are making their comeback, which I can't... Yeah, here we go. So the black crystals where you can get guaranteed copies of Shuna and Mirin. There's also this pack with a dupe of Shuna. I don't know if this is actually purchasable for global. I've never seen one of these before, really. I mean, I have, but I haven't. Like, they're always in the videos, but then some of them just never show up in the shop. And then we have the normal tickets, and then the 10% rate up tickets. So, yeah, that's all the information today. Initial thoughts are, it's probably a skip, right? All do like the should you summon and everything later on when we get the actual units. This doesn't drop until Tuesday night, so we've got a full day and change before this actually happens. So yeah, I don't. Initial thoughts are probably shouldn't summon, but again, I'll do their own should you summon video later on. But yeah, that's it for me, guys. Let me know what you guys think. Are you going to skip? Are you going to summon because they're waifu? Let me know in the comments, but that's it for me. Take it easy, and I'll see you all later.